I'm going to make vegan chili. The first thing I do to make vegan chili is to brown the tofu, and you know, that substitutes for the meat part of the dish, if that's what you want to think of it as. And this is going to be really delicious. I'm also making it with kidney beans from scratch, so it's a very fast way to make chili with kidney beans that are bought in bulk, so they're not cooked already, they're not canned. So here we go. One of the first things I'm going to do is mash it up really well so it gets really brown. I hate to compare it to ground beef, but that's how my mom taught me to make chili, so I'm going to really brown it. I used a little bit of olive oil, a lot of chili powder, almost all the chili powder that I would use in the entire pot. I would say a quarter cup or to a half cup. And then I'm going to turn the gas way up because I want it to get very, very well done. I do use a lot of olive oil, but it's because there's no meat in it, and you have to have a little bit of fat. I like this old-fashioned masher because it really makes it easy to grind up the tofu. Now what I'm doing is adding all the savory vegetables to the tofu. I've got dried vegetables that are from North Bay Trading Company. They're really delicious dried vegetables, dried leeks, dried onions, dried corn. It's a fabulous product, and I found it recently on the trip to Ohio, and I absolutely love it. And then I'm going to add onions, of course, and then I'm going to add chopped fresh parsley, and then I'm going to also include red bell pepper, which you can use green or red, and whatever you choose. I'm also going to include these two peppers from my garden. One's an Anaheim chili pepper, and one's a jalapeno that has turned red. So now I'm going to add everything but these beautiful bulk kidney beans that are not cooked, they're not canned, they're dried kidney beans, and these beautiful dried vegetables. I'm going to add everything into the tofu mixture. Now what I've done is I've transferred the mixture into a chili pan, and I've thrown in some more jalapenos from my garden and some fresh basil, and I've taken the raw kidney beans and just thrown them in. Now my superstar chef nephew Chris is going to think I'm nuts when I do this, but what I do, because I don't want to use canned tomatoes, is I put fresh tomatoes right on top, just like this. Okay? I'm going to pour fresh filtered water, fill it up, and then I'm going to pour my dried vegetables into it. And this is going to make a gorgeous chili, you'll see. I'll be right back when it's done. Okay, I've added my water. I'm going to let this come to a vigorous boil without stirring. We started with the tofu, all the savory vegetables on the bottom, the kidney beans next, the rest of the vegetables, the dried vegetables, the tomatoes. And I don't stir because I let the fire cook naturally. I learned that from Aveline Cushy, a macrobiotic chef. She didn't believe very much in stirring. She believed in letting things happen naturally. And you'll see these tomatoes, I don't need to skin them. It'll just happen by itself, and it has a very rich flavor because once it comes to a vigorous boil, I'm going to mash them up, and every single ounce of flavor and vitamin stays in the pot. Okay, I started this chili at 5:31. It's now 5:42. It's boiling like crazy, and it looks amazing. This could be one of the greatest concoctions I've ever made. I am just so excited to taste it. I'm not going to taste it yet. I'm going to let it cook for a while. And again, I use completely raw kidney beans, which many people think that you need hours and hours to cook and soak, which it's good to soak them because they cook faster. Here we are about 30 minutes into the cooking, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stir it. The tomatoes are not quite soft enough to mush up, but I don't want the tofu to stick to the bottom, so I'm going to just mash the tomatoes up a little bit and give it a nice good stir. And when I come back in about an hour, I'm going to mash the tomatoes up completely. And it already, after only 31 minutes or so of cooking, has the look of a real chili with meat and hamburger grease in it. But I mean, it's basically olive oil and tofu and tons and tons of vegetables that I'm really excited to taste it. It looks so good. I'm starving. All right, here we are at almost 8 o'clock. So the chili actually cooked from 5:30 till almost 8, which is 2.5 hours. So it does take 2.5 hours if you're using raw kidney beans. And I'm serving it with some long grain brown rice. And it tastes incredible. I put some chopped onions on the top, which of course is totally optional. So enjoy. It really is delicious. I can't wait to eat it. All right, see you on the next recipe.